Welcome to the Kickstart Your Edge Play to Win Leadership Podcast,
where we've flipped the script with our groundbreaking modus operandi to bring you real, relevant, and relatable tactics and techniques to master your own play to win mindset.
Talk about a superpower. It's time to iron your cape.
What we know for sure is what got you here won't get you there.
You can't see the spinach in your own teeth.
And finally, hang on, because this one is really deep. Once you realize that you are the traffic, everything makes complete and unadulterated sense.
Welcome to the Edge, where playing not to lose is not an option.
Hey, Karen.
What?
Tell me the last thought that just ran through your mind.
The last thought that just ran through my mind? I don't know. There's probably like 16. Probably mattress shopping.
So immediately before hitting record on this, the last thought that went through your mind had to do with the mattress?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I learn new stuff on this podcast all the time, and we hope that you do too. But today we're going to talk about TFAR and the brain. I love it. And I actually love that Karen could recall what thought the subject of her thought was right before this. The more that we can pay attention to our thoughts by just recognizing they're there, by understanding what our brain is thinking, by just taking a moment to say, what was I just thinking about? It's going to help to build that muscle of really understanding how our thoughts create our feelings create our actions, and our actions will determine what our results are. And the truth is our brain is always giving us thoughts. See, what were you just thinking while we were in dead silence?
I got to tell you, I was thinking, quite frankly, that that you froze because there's not very often times when you're not talking.
Fair enough, right? It's really interesting to start to think about the different thoughts that your brain offers up. Right? So we have conscious thoughts, we have unconscious thoughts, we have, 50 to 80,000 thoughts a day. So many of them we don't even know we have. We just go from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And it's now time to start thinking about what you think about.
Yeah. And Jen, I know that I've said this again and again and again, but it's about thinking about what you're thinking about without overthinking what you're thinking about. So this is about having the conscious thoughts. And a great way that I like to describe this is, let's say that you're driving to the grocery store. Let's say that you're driving to the gym. Let's say that you're driving to work. And like you just get in the car and you go there. And then you get there and you're like, how the hell did I even get here? Because everything that happens is unconscious for the most part. Because you don't really have to pay. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that you're not paying attention when you're driving, but a lot of times you're not. And you just get there because you're so used to going from one place, right, point A to point B, that there's not a lot of thinking that's conscious involved in that, in that drive.
Right. And the same thing is going to happen, not being in a car, is that so often our thoughts are on autopilot. We don't even realize that we talk ourselves in or out of things all day long based upon what our brain is actually offering to ourselves. So being able to take a moment and say, what are my thoughts that I have that are on autopilot, right? What thoughts do I just think without even thinking about them? It's about, if you were to objectively think about your thought, what might you change? What might you do different? What might be a more supportive thought? What thought actually doesn't serve you? I know this sounds like a lot of thinking, but in order to really understand who we are, understand our emotions that we experience, understand what we do and we don't do in the world, and understand the effects of what we're creating for ourselves, you have to be able to start with your thought. And part of what Karen and I are getting ready to do is to go on this exploration of the big brain experiment, where we're really going to be looking at the thoughts that our brain continually offers us. And how do we start to look at those thoughts with fascination and curiosity? I love when I do that.
The fun part about this, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I thought you were taking a breath. The fun part about this is that it's an experiment, right? So there's not a set destination that you're really truly going to get to, because you're going to try things and you're going to tweak things as you go. So this isn't about getting anything right. This is about self-reflection. And, it's about those things. Let's do a little self-reflection on your sleep. Let's do a little self-reflection on nutrition, right? The exercise, the novelty, the meditation, all those things. And then not get crazy attached to a place that you're going, but just to create awareness around all of them.
Yeah, it's really about being able to ask yourself 5 questions in the moment that you have a thought, right? So first question is, well, you have a thought, boom, whatever it is. What are the facts? Then asking yourself, what am I thinking about those facts? And then when I think that about those facts, how do I feel? And when I feel this way, what do I do? And what is the effect of my actions? 5 simple questions around one thought. It'd be amazing what you learn about yourself. And that's exactly what Karen's talking about. It's about, how do we start to experiment with helping the grooves in our brain be able to work on thoughts that work for us, supporting ourselves by being well rested, well fed, well exercised, learning new things, as well as giving us a space to reflect on our thoughts. But that's a real key thing of understanding TFAR in the brain, because when we're able to be a scientist around our own thoughts, it's amazing what we'll be able to come up with.
Jen, that just makes me think of something just really quickly about, again, not about getting attached and not about there being a right answer or a wrong answer, because everything is really insanely individual. And it makes me think of the sleep part of the increasing neuroplasticity, because I know that you hear me say a lot of times, I think I sleep too much. And I think that I get tired sometimes during the day because I sleep too much. So I think for me, part of my big brain experiment is actually going to be to sleep less and see what happens and see how that goes along. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I need more sleep. And great, if you need more sleep, get more sleep. But for me, I think that I need less sleep. So
I'll be interested. I'll be interested to see how that one goes, because I have different philosophies. So I think testing it, finding it out. Do you still get tired at the same part of day? What else are you adjusting? I think it'll be super fun.
Yeah, I do too.
I love it. So if you're interested in joining us on the Big Brain Experiment, we're starting May 1st. You can be a part of it. And we'd love for you to come along for the 30 days of experimentation. Check us out at kickstartyouredge.com/BBE for all the program details, and come along for the fun. It's new and improved, and we think you're going to love it.
Grab your white lab coat, people. We're going in.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Kickstart Your Edge Play to Win Leadership Podcast.
Craving more? Of course you are.
Check out our website at kickstartyouredge.com,
where we fire you up, fan the flames of your competitive edge culture, and ignite your tenacious pursuit of an all-out play-to-win mindset.